Hello, hi. I'm David. Ordered some stuff. I've got some iced matcha latte, I think, and some KFC. I haven't opened the stuff up yet, but we're gonna do one take. Okay? One take. So, how do I open this? Hey, I'm not gonna lie. This is a fancy bag, but yeah. By the way, I'm in China. Okay, so this is Chinese KFC, Chinese matcha latte. I don't drink caffeinated drinks, but when I wanted to order from KFC, everything was sold out, even Pepsi. So yeah, we got this. And some chicken, and I think these are like desserts. Yeah, I see them everywhere. I don't know exactly what they are, but we're gonna start with the burger. Let me know if this is a China. So this is supposed to be a burger, right? So it's 2 fillets and sausage in between. And I'm gonna tell you what happened like 40 minutes ago. Basically, I live in Shanghai, China, right? And we can make this a mukbang. I live in Shanghai, China. Okay, wait, let me take a bite. Let me take a bite. Bite. Ugh. Let me put the sausage in the middle. There's like sauce here. You have a sausage. Well, sausage cut in half. Ah. I forgot how much everything cost. it took like 10 minutes to get here. So we got this. And a straw. So, yes, I live in Shanghai, China. I recently moved to this apartment, right? It's a very small apartment. And something embarrassing happened today. Very embarrassing. Ah. So basically what happened was I am a language student at Shanghai Tao University, right? This is the university here. And the place that I live here, I live in floor, you know what, I'm gonna change the numbers. So I live in floor 619, right? Shout out Rey Mysterio. Shout out San Diego. Sorry, my phone. Shout out Rey Mysterio. Shout out, sorry, my phone. I'm just gonna put on Do Not Disturb. Rey Mysterio, San Diego. So 619, okay? So what happened was I went to the building that I live in, right? And I pressed the elevator, right? And I went into the elevator and pressed floor 6, because that's where 619 is, right? Bear in mind, before you press the elevator, it tells you what floor the elevator is up on, right? So the floor it already showed floor number 4 or number 3. I can't remember which floor it showed. So when I go into the elevator, there were a bunch of like packages, like smaller, imagine like Amazon packages, like very small packages. They were already in the elevator. Bear in mind, in China, there's loads of cameras. So there's a camera in the elevator, there's a camera outside the elevator, there's a camera going into the building, there's cameras everywhere, right? And the reason why I say this, it will make sense. So Let me try take another bite into this monstrosity that we have going on here. Bro, I don't even know how to lift this up. Oh, goodness gracious. You know what? I'm just gonna eliminate this sausage. So, good sausage. Not the best sausage. You know, I'm from Germany. Got some good sausages out there. Oh. Okay. So what happened was, there were packages on the floor, right? On the elevator floor. Bear in mind, I live on floor 6, so I pressed the button 6, right? And nothing handy. I just came back from the university. I'm super tired. I had afternoon classes, so my classes didn't begin till like 1 p.m. and it didn't finish till like 4 or 5 p.m. So I'm tired. And my train ride or the metro ride is, I live a little bit further away, so I'm just standing in the metro because there's nowhere to sit, and I'm just super tired. So my mind wasn't all there. So what happened was, the elevator door opens, right? Bear in mind, this is a very slow elevator I'm in. The elevator door opens and a woman is there, and she says "ni hao," and she has a bag, and she starts collecting the packages that were there. So I just get out the elevator. I say "ni hao" back. I get out the elevator, and bear in mind, I live on floor 619, right? So I just, all the rooms look the same, all the doors look the same here, and they all have numbers. So I just look for the one that ends in 19. So the doors here, they have like a number pad, like a keypad, like a touch screen where you can punch in a number and then you press star and you can open it, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. Bear in mind, I'm new to this place. Sometimes what happens is when I press the numbers and you press star, you try to open it, it doesn't work, right? Like you have to do it twice or something like that. Like that's how, I don't know if it's just my door or every door. So I'm trying to, what I notice is every time I put a number in on my door, this door here, it always makes like a certain click noise. You know how like when you type on your phone and it makes like a click, 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 click noise? The door didn't do this noise, it did a different noise. So I'm pressing the things and I'm trying to open the door, it doesn't work. So I'm doing it again, it doesn't work. And I'm just pressing the buttons and then someone opens the door and he looks at me shocked. It was a guy, right? And my heart sinks. My heart literally sinks. I am shocked. I was so shocked, and I was just like, let me take a drink. Let me take a sip. Do I just punch through? Okay. Ooh. Okay, W drink. My heart sinks, and I try to explain to him. First of all, I don't even know if this guy speaks English, so I try to explain to him it's a mistake. It's a mistake. So I look at the door number. It's 419, right? And I try to explain to him like, oh no, this is just a mistake. I live in 619, and this guy, luckily, spoke some English, and he says, no, you're trying to break into my house. You're trying to open my door. I'm gonna call the police. I said, that's fine. I said, that's fine, because as I mentioned, there are cameras everywhere. There's a camera in the elevator where I clearly press button button 6. I did this, I did that. It was an honest mistake. I tried to explain to him. I even showed him because you have like these apps for like how you pay rent and your electricity and everything. I showed him everything. I showed him like, here, I'm 2 floors above you. It's just a mistake. I pressed button 6 on the elevator, but I came out floor 4, and he was having none of it, right? I'm glad he spoke some English. So oof. This is a good burger. Hey, KFC cooked with this. Again, the only reason why I got this is because everything on the menu in KFC was sold out. So I had to get something else. Okay, again, what happened was the guy, he was very like angry, and he didn't believe anything I said. He said, "You tried to open my door. I thought this was China. I thought this was safe." So I'm asking him, "Are you Chinese?" Because he speaks very good English, and he was like constantly saying, "Oh, this is China. I'm supposed to be safe." And he says he's Chinese, right? And he was saying that he needs my details and stuff like that. I told him my name's David, and I showed him my student card. I showed him my student card, but I didn't show him like my name. I said, "I'm a student. I just moved in. This was an accident. I went in the elevator. I pressed floor 6. It accidentally brought me to floor 4. I think this is what happened. I think the woman left a lot of packages in the elevator, and she went to do something. And then when I called the elevator down, she called it back up. That's what it is. But the elevator I'm in, it doesn't, like normally in hotels, it says like you on floor 6, or it shows you some sort of indicator that whatever floor you are. My elevator doesn't have that. It doesn't have that. It's like an elevator, you walk in, right? So one door opens, you walk in, and then the door in front of you opens when you're on your floor. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a double door elevator. Does that make sense? So that was the situation. So again, I'm very tired. So my behavior is not excuse. I did make a mistake. So he said he wants my details and everything. And he says I should wait here. First of all, I have no problem with anything. If he wanted to call the police, I'm like, that's great. Like you can do that, right? Because again, there are cameras everywhere. There's like 2 cameras in the elevator, which clearly see me press button 6. I just got out the wrong floor by accident, and I just went to the number that ended in 19, because I'm in 619 and I'm now on floor 6, and I'm on floor 4 by accident, and I went to 419. So this guy, he's pissed, and I said to him, everything you're saying is valid, but I also showed him like that I live here. I showed him that I live here, and I said, if you have any issues, text the landlord, he will give you the information. Or if you want to call the police, I showed you that I live here. I showed you on my phone that I live here, right? Because I showed him like the app that we both have. And I said, if you want to call the police, just send them 2 rooms above me, because I'm not going to stand here all day, okay? I'm tired. So I didn't say that to him. So I said, if you want to call the police, call them, send them to my room. I have no issue with it. And he said, okay, that's fine, whatever. So I go back up. So I didn't take the elevator. Now I take the stairs 2 floors up. And as I'm just taking off my stuff, I already, WeChat. It's like the WhatsApp of China. I get 2 messages from the landlord. Did you accidentally go to this room? Da da da. And he started laughing. Like he sent me like laughing emojis. And he says you have to be careful where you go and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Let me take one more bite. Oh. This is so good. I wish it was a little bit more spicy. And yeah, it was an honest mistake. So the way he reacted, it was definitely valid. He was just chilling. He was playing video games. I think he was playing TFT, I'm not sure. And, someone tried to open their door. This has happened in Europe plenty of times, where someone accidentally knocks the wrong door by me, or rings the wrong. Do you know what I mean? And you just say, "Oh, whatever." I thought he would have let it go. Do you know what I mean? I thought he would have let it go, but he was like adamant of calling police, because like maybe he thought like I tried to break in or something like that, and and who am I to say that his reaction wasn't valid? Because if that's how he felt, then he has every right to feel like that. Do you know what I mean? And for me now, in hindsight, while I'm recording this video, while I was waiting for my food, 2 things I'm grateful for. Thank God. Like God got my back. Number 1, he spoke English. Good enough. I don't think he understood everything I said, but he understood majority of the things he said. I think he couldn't explain himself, express himself very well because I don't think English is his first language. But I'm glad he spoke English, because if this guy was really very pissed at me, my phone had literally like 2%. So because the first thing I did, I tried to explain to him, it's a mistake. The first thing I did was pull up my phone because I needed to open the translate app, right, to tell him that this was an accident. But he could have communicated with me on a decent enough level. Number two, okay, this has nothing to do with anything, but for me, I'm happy that this was a guy. Because if this was a girl and I'm trying to open the door, and the girl opens the door, right? She just thinks I'm a pervert, like trying to get into. Do you know what I mean? Like I was so happy that this. I'm not to say that this guy feelings are less validated because he's a guy. I'm not saying that, because if he thinks his privacy got breached or whatever, fine. I'm 100% with that. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, for my sake, if this was a girl who didn't speak Chinese, I could have been out of here, right? Like, she might have actually called the police. So, that was just my story. Yeah, of how I almost maybe got arrested. I don't know. He did message the landlord, because the landlord, as I said, the landlord messaged me. And again, I emphasized to the landlord, I told him exactly what happened. I went to the elevator, I pressed floor 6. It let me out on floor 4. I just went to the one that ended in 19. And because in my head, I thought that's just logical. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's a mistake, because this happens all the time. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is. So that was my story, and I will probably be uploading way more. Maybe day in the lives, maybe mukbangs, something else, and yeah, stay tuned. But pray for me.